the streets just like you.
You don't know this gangster business like me. If you go down this road, you gonna get yourself killed. I hope you like slinging tapes in the streets.
Wait!
Why can't anyone be special around here?
I'm unstoppable, baby.
This trailer for The Drop, a Snowfall Saga, just dropped, and I am telling you right now, it is a lot going on. Lamar is running for his life. Leon is strapped and ready. James is watching his whole family fall apart right in front of him. And Wanda, she thinks she can control all of it. But can she really? Let's get into it because we got a lot to talk about. So they finally dropped that official trailer for the Snowfall spin-off, The Drop, a Snowfall Saga, and man, it is a lot to unpack.
You gotta understand what I've been through when I was getting clean.
The Drop, a Snowfall Saga, follows Snowfall characters Wanda Bell and Leon Simmons as they fight to reinvent themselves in 1990s Los Angeles, where the fallout from the crack epidemic is fueling a brand new game. And that game is the rise of West Coast rap. Wanda starts this whole series believing that West Coast rap has the power to reshape American culture. That's a bold claim, right? She wants to put together a group of geniuses and lead them straight to their dreams. But to do that, she's got to navigate the dangerous overlap between music and street politics. And that means pulling in the people closest to her, including her cousin Lamar Kinsey and James Kinsey, and also chasing down a very volatile local rapper named Artillery, who is already tangled up with law enforcement before Wanda even gets to him. On top of all that, her internship with former D-Boy turned label owner Daryl D.G. Grant creates opportunities for her, but it also deepens the tension between her and Leon, because Leon has vowed to leave the streets behind for good and chase his own redemption through his free legal clinic. So you already see the setup here. Ambition, loyalty, and survival are about to collide. And the real question this whole season is going to ask is how much is everyone willing to risk to build something that actually lasts in a world that keeps trying to pull them right back down. The trailer opens up with Wanda, and right away you can tell something is off with her. We hear her talking while she's sitting in her car, listening to a tape, and it looks like she might be moving into a new spot. Or maybe she just locked herself out, because we see her climbing through a window to get in. Either way, it's clear from the jump that this girl is struggling. She's trying to build something out of nothing. We already know from the description that she's about to start an internship with Daryl D.G. Grant, the former D-Boy turned label owner, and we get a glimpse of that early on too. We see her going through a box full of vinyls, and she's talking about how making recovery music helped her get through some hard times. That right there tells you a lot about where her head is at. We spot a Diana Ross vinyl in her hands, and then a one-way vinyl too, and if you know your music, you already know that's telling us exactly where some of this new sound is going to be coming from. I got a feeling we're going to hear a lot more influences than just those two before this season is done. Then Leon walks in, and for a second he looks shook to see somebody in the house.
Real player.
You think I'm finna let you and your female cousin go through a house full of blood?
I mean, can you blame him? The man probably thought somebody was breaking in. Wanda straight up asks him, "You gonna shoot me?" And that's when you remember, oh yeah, this is Leon we're talking about. Your boy stays strapped, stays ready no matter what. And honestly, Wanda is going to need him ready, because it is looking rough for her already in this trailer. She's talking about how this rap game is about to be the new gold rush. No cops, no murders, at least that's how she puts it in the beginning. But come on, we already know that's not how this is going to play out. This is a Snowfall story we're talking about. It's going to get bloody and eventually law enforcement is going to come knocking. That much is guaranteed. We also hear Daryl D.G. Grant talking in the trailer about going from the dope game straight to the rap game. And let me just say this now, this guy is going to be a serious problem. Just from what we see in this short trailer alone, he is already doing way too much, and somebody is going to have to put him in his place before this season is over. Mark my words on that one. Then we cut to Leon, and honestly we don't get a whole lot of him in this trailer, which is kind of surprising, but in the little bit we do see, he's dapping up James Kinsey. We also catch a glimpse of a man who looks like he could be James and Lamar's father, going by the name Big Daddy Casey. Some of y'all might recognize that actor from ATL, where he played Uncle George, but on this show he's playing a whole different role. And it looks like he might own a laundromat. Or at least that's the vibe I'm getting from the trailer. Either way, this is clearly James and Lamar's father, and we know James and Lamar are Wanda's cousins, so this whole family is about to get tangled up together in this story. Now here's where it gets interesting. We see Wanda having a real conversation with her cousin Lamar, and she wants him to make a hit for her. She's bringing him all her inspirations, the Diana Ross, the One Way, everything we talked about earlier, and Lamar, he's locking in, doing exactly what she's asking him to do, cooking up that track in the studio. But this isn't just for fun. They want to use this song to impress a rapper named Artillery. Now let me tell you about Artillery for a second, because this dude is talented, no doubt about it, but he already has serious issues with law enforcement, and that right there is the last thing you want to be dealing with when you're trying to build a music empire. But Wanda is not backing down. She wants to sign him, and she is determined to make it happen no matter what it takes. James is not with it though. He's straight up telling Wanda, "Look, you think I'm about to let you go sit up in a house full of bloods just to play a song?" But Wanda and Lamar, they are willing to take that risk. They feel like they have to get Artillery's attention, no matter the danger, so they go straight to his house to play him the track they just made. James understands exactly how dangerous this is, and we actually see him show up at that same house in the trailer. And you already know what happens next. Somebody in that house asks them where they're from. And man, if you know anything about these streets, you already know that question means trouble. That's the last thing you ever want to hear, especially when you're not from that area. It's a setup for danger every single time. But here's the twist. Artillery hears the track, and instead of trouble he says, "Run that back." He's vibing to it, he starts rapping along, and just like that, it looks like Wanda's plan actually worked. She and Lamar are shocked themselves, like they can't believe it actually came together. And Wanda, she doesn't waste a second, she's already saying, "Let's get to it for real, let's build on this." From there, the trailer shows the music starting to spread, the popularity growing, and Wanda talking about the lessons she learned from her past, from her time with Leon and Franklin in the drug game. She understands that getting a product out to the customers is what makes something successful. And now that product is music instead of dope. She already knows the customers because she used to be one of them. And that puts her 2 steps ahead of everybody else in this game. We see them out on the block selling tapes, Artillery putting in work, Wanda hustling those tapes into people's hands. And the money is clearly starting to come in. This is looking like a real success story so far. But we already know that in shows like this, whenever things start going good, something bad is coming right around the corner. And sure enough, we see Wanda with Daryl DG Grant, and it looks like he's giving her a tour of his house, maybe even his studio, but I'm telling you right now, watch out for this guy. Something about him screams trouble, and Wanda better be careful around him. On top of the business drama, we start seeing family tension boiling over too. Big Daddy Casey is furious with James about this whole music situation, saying family comes first and asking how he could let this happen. James fires back, basically saying there's nothing he can do to stop Lamar from doing what he wants to do. And honestly, I get where James is coming from, because you can't force somebody to give up on their dream, especially when they're determined like Lamar is. At the same time, it's clear that Big Daddy Casey and Mama G are not feeling this whole gangster rap thing, especially with it being the 90s. The older generation is pushing back hard, and Casey even says something about how James doesn't know anything about sacrifice. The man is heated, and it's understandable why, but like I said, there's only so much James can actually do here. Lamar is grown, and he's going to do what he wants regardless. It does look like James is trying his best to protect his brother though, even telling him straight up that he has no business being in this rap game, because he knows exactly how dangerous it can get out here. And this trailer is already proving that danger is very real. We also get a shot of Wanda with her headphones on, vibing to the music, but then she's looking at a map, and it's giving Major Franklin Saint energy. If you remember how he used to study those territory maps in the original Snowfall. We can see the red and the blue marked out clearly, Bloods and Crips territory. And that tells us Wanda is already thinking bigger, trying to figure out how to spread this music across different areas of the city without getting anybody killed in the process. It's smart, but it's also extremely risky. Then we hear from Mama G, who I'm pretty sure is the mother of both Lamar and James. and she's having a serious conversation with Wanda, basically telling her that all this music business she brought into their lives is causing nothing but problems for these boys. Wanda tries to reassure her, saying she's not going to let anything happen to Lamar, but come on, we all know there's only so much control anybody really has once these streets get involved. From here, the trailer starts throwing a lot of chaos at us fast. We see shootouts, tension building everywhere, and it's clear that gang-related conflict is going to be a massive part of this story, especially given the time period and the West Coast setting. Lamar looks terrified in one shot, and that alone tells you things are about to get real serious for him. Wanda looks like she knows deep down that she can't actually protect him no matter what she says out loud. And then boom, we hear that same dreaded question again, "Where you from?" And Lamar knows exactly what that means. He says he's getting out of there, hops on a bus, and it's obvious these guys chasing him are not playing around. He starts running, they start chasing, and honestly, my heart was racing just watching this part of the trailer. I am hoping he makes it out okay, but from what we're seeing here, it looks like Lamar is about to go through a whole lot this season. Wanda is shown looking out over the city too, and it feels like she's reminiscing about the past, thinking about Leon, Franklin, and her girl Mayo. Maybe wondering how things got so complicated so fast. Then Mama G confronts her again, this time saying, "I know what you are." And out of nowhere, she smacks Wanda right across the face. That hit right there tells you something seriously bad must have happened to Lamar, probably got jumped or beat up somehow. And Mama G is taking all that pain and anger out on Wanda. We also catch Wanda and Leon in a heated exchange, where she's telling him she knows these streets just as well as he does, and Leon shuts that down fast, telling her she doesn't know anything about this gangster business for real. And honestly, Leon might be right, because it looks like he's about to have to step back into that world whether he wants to or not, since Wanda and her cousins keep getting deeper and deeper into trouble. Leon wanted to be a good citizen, running his free legal clinic, trying to leave the streets behind for good, but this trailer makes it look like he might have to drop another body before this season is over. We see him in a tense conversation with a guy who clearly just got beat down badly, and it does not look good at all for whoever that is. James also has a moment where he's warning somebody, saying if you go down this road, you're going to get yourself killed, and honestly, I don't even care who else goes down in this story, as long as Leon makes it out okay. Please, whatever you do, don't make this spin-off and then kill Leon off in the very first season, because if that happens, a whole lot of us are going to be extremely upset about it. We also get glimpses of Wanda kicking it with artillery, and then things turning ugly with Daryl DG Grant again, where he's talking some nonsense about hoping she likes slanging tapes in the streets, like he's trying to put her in her place. And then it escalates even further, because we see Wanda about to get hit with a hammer. Wanda, if you're watching this, you better fight back. You better do something, because you are not about to go out like that, not after everything you've worked for. Toward the end of the trailer, everything speeds up. We see law enforcement busting into a location, and you already know they are not there to play games. Lamar is shown saying something about how nobody can be special around here because everybody's surrounded by haters, and honestly, that hits different, because every single time somebody tries to build something good for themselves, it feels like there's always somebody trying to tear it down or take it away from them. Lamar is clearly going through it this season, and it's not looking easy for him at all. We also see Wanda with police lights flashing in front of her, and James looking like he just got into some kind of altercation, possibly even implying he's been shot before at some point. Then the trailer shifts again, showing Wanda hanging out with her girl, listening to music, some girls skating and having fun, trying to show a little bit of normal life in between all this chaos. But then we're right back to artillery, and it looks like his law enforcement troubles are catching up to him, because we see him running from something. I really hope he doesn't end up locked up, because if he does, that could be terrible for business, considering they need him out here making these hits happen. Near the very end, we see a music tape getting thrown, I believe by Lamar, and it says LA theme song right on it. So that's probably going to be one of the major tracks featured this season. We also catch Lamar back in the studio putting in more work, clearly locked in on his craft. Then things get physical between Wanda and Daryl DG Grant again. And this time it's a real fight. She's scratching him up, he's scratching back, and honestly it's looking like Wanda might just end up catching a body before this season wraps up. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. In the final moments of the trailer, we see them all riding through the city, and then Wanda and Leon walking out of a burger shop together, probably just trying to grab a quick meal in between all this madness. Right after that, we see what looks like James, and the trailer shows a strap getting pulled out, so something is clearly about to go down. And then, right at the very end, we hear Wanda's voice one more time, saying she's unstoppable, while Shaka Khan's "I'm Every Woman" plays in the background. And man, that hit hard. Based on everything we just broke down, this show is looking like it could be a real banger this season. So let me know down in the comments, what did y'all think about this trailer? Are you going to be tuning in when it drops? I already know a lot of people are comparing this spin-off to the original Snowfall, saying it needs to be just as good, or even better, and a lot of folks are still hoping Franklin Saint pops up somewhere down the line, even if it's just a small appearance. All I can say is just tune in and find out for yourself. Based on what we just went through in this trailer, I genuinely believe they are going to deliver something special. The cast alone has me convinced they're going to knock this one out the park, and I cannot wait to see how it all plays out.